Hey everyone, thank you very much for watching my brand new video on how to look at your rear trailing arms. Just checking a couple of key things. I mean, there is of course more extensive tests, but they're just checking a couple key things that the everyday person can do if they feel that the trailing arms may be a little bit out of whack. So let's get right to that, shall we? But don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know you guys like what I'm doing. Let's get right to it. Before we begin, you want to make sure you're jacking up your car correctly and safely. In this case here, while I'm using the trailing arm as my jack stand point, a better point actually would be to jack up the car and then use the jack stand on the rail. I'm using both right now to support the vehicle, but you really probably the best bet to use the jack stand on the rail itself. I wouldn't recommend using the drip edge, simply because, especially the older Grand Prix, but even these ones too, they can rust there. And if they get weak and you use the jack stand on your drip edge, it could bend it or break it in or anything like that. But aside from this one thing, I think we're ready to get started on checking things out. So the first thing you're going to do when you're checking your trailing arms is if there's any separation at all. That means, for example, if this is separated or released from the knuckle, if done from the chassis right up there, or if it's rusted, cracked, or anything along the lines here. Of course, that's a first indicator that needs to be done. I mean, that should be pretty obvious, but you will be looking for anything like that. The next thing you're going to look for is the bushings themselves. And you can see you have the rubber bushing kind of in between there. And also up there has them as well. And you're just going to check for any cracks, breaks, if it's separated or not even there. It could have fallen off and disintegrated over time. You're going to be checking for any play within it, like for example if you see pieces of chunks missing or anything like that. You'll be looking for that across both pieces, top and bottom. As you're checking the bushings, then you're going to also look at the bolts, make sure the bolts are in good condition, there's no rust, corrosion, issues with that. Same thing, it's just the two, so it's just here and up there. But crucially, let me get over here a little closer. If you look, you'll see there's two other small bolts there and one back there. You're going to want to give those a look over too, because if you need to do trailing arms, you need to drop those three bolts, because that's how you're going to replace it. You can't really get in there. If you look, that bolt kind of goes right up against the chassis there. Not enough room to really get in there. So it would be a lot easier for you to actually go and drop those three bolts. So you want to check and make sure they're in good condition too, just to give you a feel for what you're looking for. If everything is in good condition, it doesn't hurt to give them a little spray with some undercoat or something to protect them from future rust. The last thing you're going to check is you're going to check and see if these are bent. These are notorious for bending. It's a common issue across the Grand Prix, or actually any W-body car or anything like that. Part of the problem, unfortunately, is their design. If you look under here, you'll see it's actually not a solid piece, but a folded metal. This actually doesn't make them very strong at all. And it's actually one of the first upgrades most people do, because a lot of aftermarkets, from everything from Dorman to ZZP to anyone else, they actually sell boxed, fully solid ones, which are much better condition and quality. They'll be a little thinner, but they're boxed and they're stronger. But enough of that. Really what you're checking is to see if they're bent. I will normally pull out a level for this, but anything straight will work. And you're just going to lay it in various spots across here. Nothing to lay here because it's open gap. On the other side and on the top. Get it around there so you guys can see. As you can see. Now if it's bent, now keep in mind if there's rust, corrosion, anything like that, that may lift or be uneven because of it, and it won't give you a proper 100% reading. So you want to keep that in mind. Maybe you want to give it a sand off. But aside from here, you can check and see. Now mine are actually not bent, in good condition. Yeah, you can see there, looks good. But you get the idea of how to check it. And really, that's all involved in checking your trailing arms, not much at all. Now thank you very, very much for watching my brand new video. I hope it's helped you just kind of do some checks in your car and get to know your car a little bit better. Just a quick tip, of course, that when you're dropping the car, remember safety first. We didn't have to take the wheel off to do these checks, so as such, You're just going to drop the car. You raise the car up, remove your jack stand, and drop it down ever so gently. Remember, safety, keep things away. If you've had any tools like a level or anything, keep it away from the tires. Make sure no one's underneath the car. Other than that, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next video.